the attention of millions, without ever throwing a single punch. While the world measures strength by muscle, endurance, and skill, one boy from a small city in Dagestan did the unthinkable. He became a global icon, using nothing but personality, chaos, and the raw power of the internet. This is Hasbulla's story. It all starts in Makhachkala, a city that most people outside Russia have never heard of. Hasbulla was just like any other kid. He loved fast cars, silly pranks, and testing limits. But there was something extraordinary about him. Something invisible, yet undeniable. Charisma that commands attention. His first viral moment was pure chance. A short clip of him mimicking Khabib Nurmagomedov went completely viral overnight. Suddenly, the world was watching. People didn't know who he was, but they wanted more. They were hooked. And Hasbulla realized something critical, long before anyone else. You don't need to fight to be a fighter. You just need to create reactions. He leaned into it fully. Every video was a calculated mix of chaos and comedy. He argued with people on camera. He playfully challenged real fighters. He acted like a tiny gangster. And every time he appeared, cameras seemed to follow him instinctively. Soon, the internet was exploding. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. Hasbulla was a sensation. Memes, challenges, reposts. Millions of eyes glued to a kid who hadn't fought a single official fight. Then came the turning point. UFC took notice. Not as a fighter, not as a coach, not even as a commentator. He was signed purely as a promoter. For the first time in history, the UFC paid someone who would never step into the octagon, simply because he could generate more hype than any fighter. And that's when the millions started flowing. Sponsorships, paid appearances, worldwide tours, collaborations with top athletes like Ronaldo, Shaq, and Khabib. Hasbulla proved the world one undeniable truth. You don't have to be the strongest, just the most unforgettable. Understood it at first. While professional fighters were grinding 8 hours a day in gyms, taking hits, risking injuries, Hasbulla was building something even more powerful. A personal brand that transcends fighting. He didn't have trophies, medals, or a championship belt. He didn't have size, strength, or training. But he had a weapon more powerful than any championship belt. Presence. Random videos of him arguing, copying Khabib, driving cars like he was in an action movie, or throwing playful jabs at much bigger opponents. Every clip became instant content gold. People couldn't stop watching. He looked like a kid, but carried the confidence of a seasoned fighter. That contrast? Explosive. The internet couldn't resist it. Brands, celebrities, and fans began noticing. It wasn't about fighting skill, it was about energy, personality, and attention. He became a camera magnet. Where Hasbulla appeared, eyes followed. And slowly the rise accelerated. Invitations to interviews, international events, viral collaborations with MMA stars, memes shared by millions worldwide. Hasbulla had become recognizable even to people who never watched a single fight. Without throwing a single punch, he became the most in-demand personality online. And in doing so, he revealed a simple truth. It's not about how big you are. It's about how big your impact is. In the world of combat sports, fame is earned in blood, sweat, and pain. Years of training, injuries, and relentless competition. But Hasbulla broke all rules. He never fought. He never trained like a professional. He never entered the cage. Yet he had something fighters don't always understand. The power of attention. Every time he raised his fist, shouted at a fighter 10 times bigger than himself, or acted mischievous on camera, millions watched. He wasn't just funny. He was unpredictable, bold, and magnetic. Then came the move that changed everything. Multi-million-dollar brand deals and the official UFC contract. Not as a fighter, not as a coach, not as a commentator, as a marketing phenomenon. The first person in UFC history to earn this kind of contract purely through influence and hype. After that, the money was endless. Paid appearances, international sponsorships, collaborations with Ronaldo, Shaq, Khabib, viral campaigns that generated millions of views and clicks. Hasbulla understood something almost no one else does. In the modern world, attention is the most valuable currency. While fighters sweat and bleed for fame, Hasbulla earns millions by simply being himself. Unpredictable, funny, bold, authentic. And that's the lesson. The strongest in the world isn't always the one who hits hardest. It's the one who knows how to make the world stop, stare, and watch. Hasbulla didn't fight his way to millions. He charmed, entertained, and captivated his way to the top. And in the digital age, sometimes that is the greatest